Step 1. Install Blender. Step 2. Go to Sketchfab on your browser and create an account there. After creating an account, click here and click on Blender. And here you can download your Sketchfab add-on for Blender, so you won't have to leave Blender in order to search for assets. Just like most of you guys, I also don't have any experience in Blender. I have only followed 2 tutorials on Blender by Blender Guru, and I don't have any experience in modeling, sculpting, any of these. So I just pull out assets from Sketchfab and position them as required and then render them as PNG. Now you open Blender, go to General, go to Edit, Preferences, Add-on, then click on Install and select your Sketchfab add-on to install the Sketchfab add-on. After installing the add-on, you click N on your keyboard and you will see Item Tools View in Sketchfab. Click on Sketchfab and log in your account. To log in your account, you can search and import all the 3D elements that you want and drag them into Blender. Let me demonstrate this to you how all this works. First of all, I'm going to delete this cube by selecting it and then clicking on X on keyboard. Then a delete pop-up will appear and I'll click on delete. Now this is a light, this is a camera. I always use environment for light instead of manually creating the light. I usually create manual light when necessary, but most of the time it's not necessary and I can easily tweak it in Photoshop. For example, here you can see a thumbnail and the guy on the right hand side holding a gun. The gun is a 3D model which I rendered in Blender. So I'm gonna demonstrate how I did that. So here's the guy. By the way, I'm using this software called PureRef. Now I'll go to the search tab by clicking N in Sketchfab and then I'll type gun. Then I'll hit search. After clicking on search, an image will appear. When you click on the image, a whole page of guns will appear. You can see. You can go to next page by clicking on next page. On the next page, you can click on the thumbnail again and a lot of new guns will appear once again. I think I had used this gun, so I'll click on this gun and click on import model. It will take a while and your model will be imported into the scene. Now I can zoom in and see. Now that you can see the gun is gray, there are no textures, colors and all of that. Because we are in solid view mode, here you can toggle between modes or you can click Z on your keyboard and here different type of mode you can see. We will go to rendered mode. Now you can see the textures and all that details on the gun. Now we want the gun to be in an angle similar to the guy in our reference. So I'll rotate the gun in the similar angle. This seems about right. You can adjust your angle here, right here, or if you want to move your stuff around, you need to select the stuff. Most of the time when I import 3D elements from Sketchfab, it is usually divided into multiple parts. So I just select them all at once like this. Click on G to move it around. You can click Y to move it on Y axis. You can click Z to move it on Z axis. You can click on X to move it on X axis. I will just leave it as here. And if you want to rotate it, you need to select it again. Then click on R and then you can rotate it freely. You can click on Y to rotate it on Y axis, Z to rotate it on Z axis, X to rotate it on X axis. I will not rotate it. I'll keep it as it is. And if you want to increase or decrease the size, then select again and click on S. And here you can do the same thing, increase or decrease size on X axis, Y axis, Z axis. I'll keep it as it was in the perfect position. I will keep it in the center of the canvas. Then I'll go to view, align view, and then align active camera to view. Now this is the frame we will be rendering the item in. This is the camera. By the way, if your camera doesn't look like this, it's probably because of the resolution. So set the resolution to 9020 into 1080 pixels here in the scene option right here. And if this doesn't feel right to you, you can click on camera here in the layers panel, then go to camera here. You can change your focal length here. You can shift the camera to X and Y axis. By the way, for positioning the camera here, I used view and align view. You can use the shortcut key option command numberpad 0, but I don't have numberpad on my keyboard, so I just use that. Now our camera is set, our item is on place in correct angle that we want. Now we need to set up light. Here is the light, and select the light and same shortcut key G to move it around. By the way, you want to view the camera mode again, you need to click on this button. You need to click on this shortcut to get on the camera view again. You can see the closer I blink the light, the brighter the gun becomes. So you can adjust the light according to the scene, but I don't usually do it. And here's another method that I use. First of all, I'm gonna delete the light by clicking X and delete. I will bring the gun into a new environment. So this is the world icon you see. Click on the world icon, then the background color. Click on this red color and then environment textures. Here's a website where you can find find a lot of environment textures. I use this one a lot. So after clicking this, I'll click on open and then select my environment texture. This is an environment that I use a lot of time. So I'll click on this and click open image. And then now our gun is in environment and is lit by the light in the environment. It's pretty similar to my subject, I think. So that's also a good thing. Now for the rendering settings, you need to go here, the scene render engine. We'll select the render engine to cycles. We'll select the render engine to cycles because it is the best for realistic images. It gives you all the reflections and shadows. So we'll go with cycles. This is viewport settings, means this is viewport we are looking at, not the render image. So this is the viewport. The viewport setting, you can keep it similar to mine. It doesn't matter that much. Now for the render settings, first of all, noise threshold, you can turn it off because you don't need it, because we'll be using the denoise feature. It works like magic. For the samples you can keep it 500,000, 2,000, 4,000. The more you have the samples, the more higher quality the render will be. But usually with the denoise feature, the change in quality is almost negligible, so you can keep it as low as 10, 50 or 100,000. It won't make much of a difference, but it will make a difference in your rendering time though. The higher the samples you will select, the more rendering time it will take. So I'll select 500 now. Time limit, keep it 0 second, because if you select the time limit, the rendering will stop at the time you have set even before completing the sample. So that's the thing, keep it 0. Path guiding, I keep it off, and everything keep it as it was in the original. Now we want to make the background transparent. In order to do that, go to here film and click on transparent. Now your background is transparent, yet your object has all the lights and shadows from the background. So that's a good thing. Now everything is just set. We have our 3D element in the correct render engine. We've got selected our samples, denoise, it is transparent in a correct environment, correct lighting. Now you have to render it. So you click on render and render image, or simply click on F12 and your image will start rendering. Now the image is rendered. It took about 28 seconds. You can click on image and click on save as, and select the place where you want to save your image. Now you have your 3D element as a PNG. You can slap it any image in Photoshop now. Enjoy.